Hey, this is me, the owner of a one-letter RuneScape name, G. Some of the most common questions I get about my name in-game are...
How much did your name cost?
Is your name bound to your account?
Are you the original owner of G?
Can I buy your name, G?
How much is your name worth?
What was the price?
Why don't you sell your name and get my fancy car?
How did you get the name G?
Okay, so right now we're just strolling through the G. We got X, Y, Z.
This is a video I submitted to Chris Archie back in 2015 where I got 4 one-letter names together at the G and people were confused to say the least. One-letter names are incredibly rare and it's likely you've never seen one in-game, so to have 4 in the same place was pretty crazy. There are only 36 one-character names possible with 26 in the alphabet and 10 numbers. These names are highly sought after and worth a ridiculous amount of GP. So how did I get one? Before I can answer that question, I need to take you back to 2013. The year that Vine was at its peak, GTA 5 had just been released, Flappy Bird was released, Macklemore had released Thrift Shop, the Harlem Shake was a thing, my friend James passed his driving test, old school RuneScape had been out for less than a year, and it was the year of Runefest 3. This is 17-year-old me attending my first Runefest. At the time, I had been inconsistently posting RuneScape, Minecraft and Call of Duty videos under the alias Neeson or Neast, which was my in-game name at the time. I remember my parents introducing me to RuneScape back in 2005, but at the time I was obsessed with Toontown, which was a Disney game where you controlled your character using the arrow keys. So when I first tried RuneScape, I couldn't work out how to move and quit after about 10 minutes of being stuck on Tutorial Island. In 2007, all my friends at school were playing RuneScape, so I decided to give it another go. Over the years that followed, I became obsessed with RSMVs and PKing videos. My accounts were always pure accounts despite rarely PKing, so when Old School was released, I knew I had to get back into the game, and ultimately this led to me attending Runefest in the same year. This was the 3rd Runefest event, which was hosted at Tobacco Dock in London. Runefest is known for big announcements about the future of the game and for meeting up with friends who you've known online for years. So you might be asking, what has this got to do with a one-letter name? Well, here's a map of the Runefest venue, and as you went into the Runefest venue through this red dot here, you would pass through this area, which is where you got your Runefest bag, which were given out to everyone, and my mum still uses this bag as a gym bag to this day. You would go through here and then you were free to go wherever you'd like in the venue. And as you went through, you could come into this room over here, which was the customer support room. This is an artist's impression of the customer support room. So the blue line at the bottom indicates the door to get in, and then on the right hand side there was a stand which had 2 JMods behind it. And when we spoke to them, they mentioned that they could look up any name in the game, and if it was available, they'd let you change your name to it. At that moment, I was racking my brain to think, what name do I really want here? And then I thought, I'm going to ask a question which I know a lot of people wouldn't ask. How about G? Now, when I asked this question, I had no idea why I specifically asked for the name G, or if the name was even available. The 2 JMods behind the stand looked it up on their laptop, saw that the name was available, and then they went to speak to what I assume is their manager behind a curtain. They were there for what felt like a lifetime, discussing if they could give me the name, and the whole time me and my friends were thinking, there is no way that they're going to be able to give me a one-letter name. It is not going to happen. But you're watching a video about how I got a one-letter name, so you can probably guess what happened next. After about 10 minutes, they came back and they had confirmed that they'd changed my name in-game to G. I can't remember my exact reaction at the time, but I'm pretty certain that it would have been pure shock. You'll remember the first picture I showed you of me in this video. Well, in this picture, we were on some gaming PCs which were located on the lower floor of the venue, and it felt like we ran down the stairs to get to these PCs to check they had actually changed my name to a one-letter character. And they had. When I logged in on the gaming PCs, people were PMing me asking if I was Sam, as it turns out that anybody who had G on their friends list before automatically now had me added. From what people have said to me over the years, Sam was the previous owner of the name and the account had previously been banned for real-world trading. This was how I was able to get the name, and probably why the JMods were discussing it for so long, because Jagex are not known to give out banned names, let alone banned one-letter names. This is probably because of how much money is attributed with these one-letter names, so how much is a one-letter name worth? After talking to some of the most popular name-selling discords, they confirmed that one-letter names are rarely traded or sold, as it is a very risky business. Not only could the name get sniped whilst you were transferring it, but there have been situations where one-letter names have been sold and the previous owner has then recovered the name, or the name has then been banned for real-world trading. One-letter names are worth over 100 billion old school RuneScape GP as of the date of this video, but there have been claims that one of them was sold for 270 bill.
Oh, one-letter name. I heard some news in the black market. Guess how much that name sold for? Sold for 270 bill. Oh my rod, though.
So what is that in real money? So if we take the 100 bill, which was quoted to me by the name trading discords, that would be worth around 20 grand in illegal gold. And if you were to do that based on the current price of bonds, you would be looking at 71,800 US dollars. But if the 270 bill is to be believed, this would be approximately $54,000 in illegal gold and 193,000 in bonds. Crazy. So would I sell my one-letter name? The answer is no. I think the circumstances of how I got the name in the first place are so unique, and there is so much risk attached to selling a name that I would probably never even consider it. And also, I didn't know this until recently, but my name is actually bound to my account, which means that no other account in the game can register my name to their account, even if I did a double name change. You can check if a name is bound to an account in-game by trying to change your name, and when you type in G, it says name rejected, but if you did this with somebody else's name, it would usually say it's already taken. If it says it's rejected, this means it's bound to the account. But let me tell you, there are downsides to having a one-letter name, and it definitely makes your account a moving target for hackers, and this was definitely the case during the whole ModJed scandal in 2018. If you're not aware of this situation, ModJed was a corrupt Jagex moderator who was fired by the company for hacking RuneScape accounts from inside Jagex. He had access to account details and specifically targeted one-letter names. Whilst this was all happening, I hadn't logged into the game for months, but towards the end of 2018, I couldn't log in and I had to recover my account. And when I eventually recovered my account, it was in Lumbridge wearing full PKing gear with a bank that had been completely wiped except for the items that I was wearing. My bank was probably worth around 500 mil before this, and they left around 30 mil of gear on the account. I believe some of the accounts that got hacked got their items reimbursed, but in my case, I didn't get this. Turns out that the clan that ModJed was a part of was using the accounts for PKing in the wilderness, and there was a Reddit post at the time claiming that the clan had lost all of their one-letter names. Sadly, I have no screenshots of this from the time, but this whole situation really sucked. I've had full control of the account since the situation was resolved, maxing the account, completing all of the Grandmaster Combat achievements, and now I'm going for as many collection log slots as possible. So let's run through all of the questions from the start of the video, starting with how much did your name cost? My name cost 0. I did not purchase the name G. How did you get the name G? I was in the right place at the right time, asking the right questions at Runefest 2013. Have you played since Classic? No, I have not. I've been playing the game since 2007. Why don't you sell the name and buy the car? I would never sell the name, even if it was possible, which it isn't. Is your name bound to your account? Yes, it is, which means it cannot be transferred to another RuneScape account. Can I buy your name? No, you cannot. It's bound to the account, which means it can't be traded. How much is your name worth? It's worth at least 100 bill, but it's hard to know because one-letter names are very rarely traded. Are you the original owner of G? No, I am not. I've had the name since 2013. Do you work for Jagex? No, I do not, and I probably never will. I hope this video answered all of your questions about my one-letter RuneScape name, and if you have any unanswered questions, please pop them down in the comments and I'll be sure to reply. Please drop a like on the video if you've made it this far and enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel for more old school RuneScape videos. I've uploaded multiple episodes of my collection log series, so make sure to check those out if you're interested. And in my next video, I'll be killing a Raxor for 2 weeks to see if I can green log and complete the boss in that time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.